Logical reading order. What is it? In PowerPoint, content that you add to slides is recorded in the sequence in which you add them. So think of it as animations onion skinning. Each time you add content to a slide, PowerPoint records that you've added that content on that layer. It keeps a record of that order of items added. That's fine looking at slides visually, because you're ordering it and organizing it in a way that works visually. Unfortunately, because it's recording the order you add content in, it's recording the way that we edit and create. We don't do that in a logical reading order. We add things as and when we think of things. We go back in and we edit and rearrange. Each of those interactions is recorded, added to a sequence in a linear order. When a user uses an assistive technology to interact with your presentation, PowerPoint will present that recorded logical reading order. Screen Reader will read the content back to that user in that order. The problem with this is it's very rare for our process of creation to create a logical reading order. So a reading order that matches the visual reading of the slide rather than the recording of your editing process. So how do you make sure that the reading order for each slide is what it needs to be, both to make sense to the user and so it is conveying what you wish to convey when you created the slides? To do this, go to the Review tab, select Check Accessibility. From here, you can go two ways. You can either check accessibility for the entire presentation deck or go direct to the reading order pane for the slide you're working on. Click on the reading order pane. In this slide, I've chosen a comparison layout. It has 5 or 6 different elements on the slide. First thing I notice is the slide title should be top in the list. The reading order pane is now read linearly from top to bottom in both the latest Mac version and Windows. The first thing we read on slide is the title, so the title should always be at the top. Click the one below and it will select the field on the slide. It's the subtitle for the first container of content. Below it should be Image Placeholder because that's how I'm reading it visually. Similarly with the next one. So these are all in the correct order. To reorder them, you can simply drag and drop, or you can use the caret arrow buttons to move things up and down. You can also uncheck the boxes if it's content that is not necessary for the assistive technology to read out, and it will automatically mark it as decorative. So a screen reader user will know that they're not missing important information. So close the reading order pane. Now check your entire PowerPoint for reading order. Go back to the Review tab, select Check Accessibility, and in the expanded drop-down menu, check Accessibility again. This opens the Accessibility Assistant. This will list all of the issues that it's able to identify under various headings. In here, it has identified a number of issues, including another Verify Reading Order request. The AI cannot identify what the logical reading order should be. You're the human creator, you're in charge of that. So it will ask you to verify the object order. When you click Verify, that will reopen the reading order pane for the current slide that it has identified. Again, the title is out of sequence. It should be at the top. So you make the decisions as the creator. You need to check that your presentation is being understood by all of your potential audiences as you intend.